We're moving from a time where our consumption of fossil fuels, be it oil or gas, is the key factor in our economic success, our sense of well-being, our personal prowess, to a time when our dependency on fossil fuels is our degree of vulnerability. That's the key message, I think, for today.
The power of the transition movement is already in its name.
It's roots thing. It's something that you and I can get involved with.
Very much focused on your own place and ground and where you are, and this is where you need to take care of and build relationships and sort the world out from.
It's about not waiting for anybody else to fix things for us, it's about getting on with things ourselves.
Cars and things, and it's really nice to interact with the wider community and to talk to the elders and to meet people who have lived in this part of the country for so many years.
It was about 8 months ago that a few of us were in this hall, and the feeling was really different. It was our first public event as a transition group, and it was really like, oh, what are we doing? We're stepping out into this public arena, and we don't know what the response is going to be. We don't know what people's reactions are going to be.
Doing a Fit to My Meal Awards. This was launched last year as an initiative to promote local food production. So it's around raising awareness of why it is important to source food locally.
I mean, it's ridiculous that you can buy garlic in Ireland, but the majority of it would come from China, which I think we should become more self-sufficient.
The Garden Shed project means that people who don't have land and don't have any garden space are matched together with people who have garden space that they don't use in Totnes. And the idea is for it to be a long-term, growing community relationship and commitment, really helping us kind of get back more into the habit of sharing our space and sharing our resources and learning that we are utterly interdependent.
And the whole idea about the Ubi store is that we create a social space where people can come, learn about food growing. We have workshops here, we have demonstration garden beds coming, you'll be able to get seedlings and soil treatments and compost and everything like that. So we're creating a one-stop food grower shop for everyone on the island to get into food growing.
And if this was extrapolated to a national level, I mean, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of acres of land out there.
It seems a very small beginning, but it will grow.
Yeah.
And the impact of it and the importance of it, I don't think, can be exaggerated.
A lot of it is about people wanting those links with the land again and wanting to kind of learn and be part of that fantastic tradition that is propagating and seed saving and really kind of, you know, learning what it is that makes us live, that makes us thrive, and it's particularly people who are living in flats who don't have any access to green space. It's absolutely lovely to be able to know that there's a little patch of land where you could just go and sit and be surrounded by your flowers and vegetables and watching the butterflies go by.
The gardens here will now become a part of the curriculum and the outdoor learning environment, teaching the children about sustainability, about their future, and about the community and about involvement of everybody.
It's about getting involved in my community. It's about kind of putting my fear into something more positive. Transition has been really good because it's taking that fear and the need to withdraw and take care of your nearest and dearest and looking at your local community and thinking actually without them we wouldn't survive anyway.
Well, the Lewis pound is a local currency, and so the idea is if you think of a community as being like a big leaky bucket and money pours into it from all different places, from grants, from pensions, from wages or whatever, comes into our economy, and then most of it just pours out of the holes in the bucket. Every time you shop in a supermarket, 80% of that money leaves. So you have a national currency which just pours through our communities. Whereas if you have a local currency, this is the Totnes pound, this is the currency that I've been involved in, it can't leave, it bounces off the side of the bucket. What it does is it's like mindful money. If you go shopping with a local currency, you make a conscious decision that you're going to support local businesses.
It was a little dress. Yes, it was a little girl's dress, and all I did was change the top a bit and put a handle on.
And the aim is to show them the bags that we've made and encourage them to think creatively about what kind of bag they could make out of any of these materials. And it's a privilege to see a child learning a skill from another adult, not its parent. And I think that's all part of developing a sense of community.
It's a case of okay, let's try to avoid driving solo, you know, try and fill the car up, car share, but then also, you know, kind of think a bit more about what kind of journeys you're making, and, you know, try and consolidate all those errands and all those sort of frivolous trips into one journey.
And for me, that's one of the most powerful things that any of us can do at this time. Close your eyes and imagine, what would your community look like if you had the future that you really want for your children? What would that look like? What would it feel like? What does it taste and smell like? What are you eating? You know, what do you wear? What do the buildings look like? What are people doing in their days? How do they look when you look into their eyes? Those sort of questions are really powerful, I think, for people to come out of the despair and have a sense that there could be another future. You know, if we don't do that visioning and imagining the world we want and then take steps towards it, we're going to get a world that somebody else wants.
You can join a transition group, or if there's not one in your area, you can just start one.